I will explain the rules of Bug Run, a game for 2 to 6 players by Franck Crétin, Grégory Larget and Sébastien Pouchon, illustrated by Philidus Barbastis and published by Bombaix. In Bug Run, you'll play as an insect unjustly imprisoned by cute animals. Gear up to escape through 4 levels of a dungeon to the rooftop and collect all the honours by completing challenges and fighting bad guys along the way. Place the board in the centre of the table. Shuffle the Bazaar cards and place this deck on the corresponding space on the board, and reveal the first 3 cards. Form a draw pile of basic equipment cards, then shuffle the loot cards and place this deck face down on the board. Do the same with the exploration cards. Sort the monster cards according to their level and shuffle each deck separately. Take a level card at random and place it on the board so that the face corresponding to the number of players is on show. Build the first level of the dungeon in the order indicated on this level card. If you play with 5 or 6 players, these cards are dealt in 2 rows. Shuffle the stair cards and randomly select 4 of them to form a face-up pile without looking at the back. If you are playing with fewer than 5 players, place the padlock on the spaces marked 5 to 6. Place the various markers, tokens and the flash token near the board in reserve. Each player chooses their hero sheet. Decide together whether you want to play in normal mode or with the special powers. If you are playing without the special powers, hide them with the scroll. Then take the associated hero token, a flip counter, 5 victory points that you will keep hidden, as well as the 2 dice and the 3 markers in your colour that you will place directly on the marked spaces of your lifeline, your reserve of coins and your stock of arrows. Everyone starts the game with 5 life points, 5 coins and 4 arrows. With only 2 players, you'll play with 2 heroes each at the same time. Refer to the booklet for the setup and rules adjustments. The first player is randomly selected and places their hero on the space marked with the crown. Everyone else is placed next to them. In Bug Run, you'll need to navigate the 4 levels of the dungeon and reach the rooftop to escape. Each level consists of several phases: trading, adventuring, possibly fighting, and reset. At the beginning of each level, starting with the start player, players will take turns going to the bazaar to buy and sell items. You can purchase as many bazaar cards, basic equipment, arrow bundles and hearts as your purchasing power allows. Bazaar cards cost the price indicated at the bottom of each card, and each set of 3 hearts, 2 arrows or basic equipment costs 3 coins each. Spend your coins by moving your marker backwards and take what you have purchased. When you buy hearts and arrows, increase the slider on your board. Note, however, you cannot own more hearts, arrows or coins than your inventory limit allows. If you buy a basic equipment card, choose whether you want to use it as a sword or a bow, and place it accordingly next to your hero sheet. Your hero sheet is composed of 3 zones: 2 slots for sword guards, 2 for bows, and 1 for a shield. The equipment you collect gives you more power to your attacks, allows you to obtain bonuses, and protects you more effectively. It is worth noting, however, that your hero has a sword and a bow at the start. You can therefore launch an attack even if the equipment slots are empty. When you buy a bazaar card, place it face up in front of you or equip it to your hero. You can also sell loot, bazaar or basic equipment cards. Each card sold earns you 1 coin regardless of the purchase value in the bazaar. Increase your purse value by 1 for each card sold. Be careful though, you cannot sell a card that you have started to use, that is to say on which you have placed a marker. When you cannot or no longer want to buy or sell, reveal a new bazaar card to replace the ones you have purchased. Now is the turn for the player to your left to make their transactions, and so on in turn order. When you have all finished your shopping, discard all the cards present in the bazaar to reveal new ones ready for the next level. The adventure phase now begins. The adventure phase takes place in a succession of turns that begin with the hero placed on the crown and continues clockwise. You go through each level from left to right until everyone has reached the stair card. On your turn, choose between moving to a card or performing the action of the card your hero is on. To move from the starting position on the board to a card in the row or change cards, you must move your hero to an empty space on a card to the right of your current location. You can skip cards and are therefore not required to move from one card to the one directly adjacent to it. Beware, however, as you cannot go backwards, and if all the spaces on a card are occupied, you can't move there. When playing with 5 or 6 players, the cards are spread across 2 floors. When you have a choice between 2 cards, you must choose whether to move to the top or to the bottom. To move to a different floor, you must move through the central card. Some spaces grant you resources, and others, circled with red fragments, impose a cost that you must pay to place your hero there. Finally, some spaces display a bow or sword symbol. This forces you to use the indicated weapon if you decide to perform the card's action later. During your movement, when there is a bridge card between the card you are starting from and the one you are going to, you're obliged to resolve it as part of your movement. To do this, choose which bridge you will cross. Take the stable solid one to obtain what is indicated above, or take the risk of traversing the shorter and more dangerous one. In this case, throw your flip counter and apply the result according to the colour obtained. Some stair spaces are only available for 5 or 6 player games. If you are playing with 2, 3 or 4 players, you cannot place your heroes here, as indicated by the padlock token placed during setup. If you choose the space with the crown, in addition to taking the indicated reward, you will be the starting player for the next level. If you choose not to move, you must take an action. If you are on a monster card, you must attack it with a bow or a sword by rolling your 2 dice. If you attack with a bow, you must reduce the arrow supply by 1 before rolling the dice. Then, whatever weapon you attack with, if you get no successes, it's a failure. If you get at least 1 success, you've hit your opponent. Now calculate the total power of your attack by adding the successes of your dice and those of the weapon used and any relevant attached equipment utilized during the fight. If the monster has a shield, it protects itself. You must then deduct the value indicated on its shield from your total attack power before possibly inflicting damage. If there is at least 1 success left after this calculation, you wound the monster. For each of your remaining successes, the monster loses a life point. Use a wound token to indicate each point. When the number of wounds reaches the number of life points, the monster is defeated. If you wound the monster, you can benefit from any of the bonuses that your used equipment has. When attacking with a bow, you take no damage in return, so it's a weapon to consider for attacking from a distance. During a sword attack, if you obtain at least 1 bone symbol, the monster retaliates and you lose 1 life point for each bone symbol obtained on your dice, plus 1 life point for each bone symbol possibly presented on the monster card, even if your blow has defeated it. If you have a shield, you can use it to avoid losing a life point. Then move your life point marker down 1 space for each life point lost. If you lose all of your life points during the game, you immediately lose 5 victory points. If you have fewer than 5 victory points, you lose all of them. In either case, you can then return your marker to its starting position. If you haven't defeated the monster, you can try again on your next turn, or choose to flee to another card. In the latter case, you will leave all wound tokens in place. If you have defeated the monster, place a defeated token on it. Then, trigger an interruption of the current turn called a flash phase. Place the flash token in front of you. Starting with you and moving clockwise, each hero on that card chooses a reward, until all rewards have been distributed. If no one is with you, you collect all of them. This can involve collecting coins, victory points that you keep face down, arrows, life points, or taking the first loot card from the draw pile. If it has a green background, you keep it secret. If it has a neutral background, you reveal it. Then, each hero on the card, starting with yourself, makes a move according to the usual movement rules, and then the game resumes normally. Then the next player takes their turn, and you return the flash token next to the board. If you are on a quest card, you can earn rewards without fighting. Most of these cards require you to toss your flip counter or roll a dice, and the result will determine your reward. All quests are detailed in the rulebook. If you complete a quest, place a padlock token on the card to indicate that it is no longer accessible. Then trigger a flash phase to move. If you are on a stair card on your turn and there is still at least one hero on a monster or exploration card, you take the indicated reward. If your heart, arrows and coin tracker is at its maximum and you are collecting more as a reward, take 1 victory point instead. The adventure phase ends immediately when all players have reached the stairs. On the other hand, if this symbol appears on the stair card, you must first resolve a fight between the players. The space you choose will determine which team you will be on, top or bottom. Roll your dice. If you get 1 or more successes, you add them to your equipment. Be careful, however, you cannot use cards other than your equipment, and no life points are lost during a fight. The successes of each team member are added together to determine the winners, who share the prize equally. In the event of a tie, a new fight ensues. Now that the level is complete, place the heroes back on the entrance to the next level. The player on the crown takes the corresponding location. Turn over the stair card and place it at the edge of the board so as to gradually build up the final rooftop escape. Clear away all the monster and exploration cards from the completed level to create the next level by placing the new monster and exploration cards as indicated on the level card. You're ready for the next level of adventure. When you have successfully cleared all 4 floors of the dungeon, add the 4th stair card in the final rooftop escape. Starting from the bottom and taking turns, place your hero on the starting space of your choice. Choose a path to reach the next step and complete the required conditions. Sometimes this involves paying the cost of either coins, arrows or hearts. Other times you will have to succeed in a challenge, and to do so you only have 1 attempt. Some challenges require you to get the green face with your flip counter, or to roll your dice and achieve the indicated number of successes by attacking with the required weapon. If you get at least 1 success, add your equipment and your dice successes together. You're allowed to use your cards, you can lose life points with a sword, and you must spend an arrow to shoot with a bow. If you succeed, you reach the next step. When you reach the top, or fail reaching the next step, place your hero on the victory point symbol according to the last step reached. When everybody has attempted the final escape, the game is over. Add up the victory points from your tokens, loot cards, and the step reached during the final escape. Finally, add 1 victory point to your score for every 3 coins still in your purse. The player with the most victory points wins. Enjoy your game.